terrific college football Saturday continues from beautiful Harrisonburg, Virginia, where it is an awesome atmosphere for a Sun Belt showdown as the James Madison Dukes play host to the Old Dominion Monarchs. Midway point of the season, 6 games down, 6 to go. The winner of this matchup absolutely takes over the driver's seat to win the Sun Belt East and play for a Sun Belt championship. Just a terrific atmosphere. This is football weather, mid-October. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you, and both coaches told us if they want to win a Sun Belt championship, this is one you have to have today.
Yeah, here we are, partner, mid-October, already Sun Belt Conference title implications. So who can go to that championship game? Yeah, whoever wins this game rises right to the top of being able to play in that game. But even more interesting, the team that loses really falls out of the favor. As you can see there on the graphic, ODU will go to just 2%, James Madison 13% with a loss.
And both of these programs believe they have the talent to win a Sun Belt championship. But like you said, Rocky, with a loss, you start falling out of it. With a win, you are the front runner in the East. What does this game come down to for you?
What every good football game comes down to. Both teams great defenses, and they both run the ball very, very well. And they do it, Jay, in multiple ways. And for ODU, it's their quarterback, Colton Joseph. 6 games this year, 49+ yards on the ground. They got a bunch of different backs they'll get the ball to. A very unique scheme that ODU runs, which we'll be able to get into. And James Madison, big, powerful offensive line. Wayne Knight, one of the most exciting running backs in the Sun Belt Conference. They have multiple ways to get it done on the ground.
We're looking forward to a good one in Harrisonburg, where it is a sold-out crowd for a Sun Belt showdown. Kickoff is next. You simply could not ask for a better atmosphere. Terrific crowd, beautiful fall weather. This is football weather on a Saturday in mid-October. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. We're excited for what should be a close, competitive game between two of the best teams in the Sun Belt. Old Dominion head coach Ricky Ronnie trying to bounce back from his first conference loss of the season last week at Marshall. And James Madison head coach Bob Chesney trying to keep the Dukes perfect in Sun Belt play.
Yeah, 2 young coaches at the top of the Sun Belt here, getting ready to go at it. Great mountains in the background here at JMU.
When you grow up wanting to play college football, these are the games you dream about, with so much Sun Belt Conference implications on the line. In front of a sold-out crowd. Old Dominion has won the toss, decided to defer, so it'll be James Madison who gets the ball to start this one. And historically, this is a game that comes down to the final possession. 3 of the last 5 games decided by just 3 points, including last season. JMU beat ODU 35-32. This one has all the makings of a spectacular matchup in the Sun Belt. One of the best crowds in all of college football, particularly at the Group of 5 level here in Harrisonburg.
Yeah, fantastic stadium, sold out crowd. Dukes fans going nuts. They really believe in this team that Bob Chesney has put together. How about that? I mean, talk about a home field advantage, right? 61-5 since 2016. Incredible.
Old Dominion will try and put a dent in that top 5 home record, stay alive in the Sun Belt East after a disappointing loss to Marshall a week ago. 5 turnovers in that game for the Monarchs last week, led to 31 points for Marshall, so we'll have to try and keep it clean on the road against a James Madison team that's perfect in Sun Belt play, 5-1 on the season. Duke's ready to receive in purple and gold. ODU set to kick it away in white and blue. And we are underway in a Sun Belt showdown. James Madison, miscommunication in the end zone. A fumble, ball's loose, ODU scores! What a start to this game! A miscue for JMU, and ODU opens the scoring 6 seconds into this one. Braden Wisłowski and Curtis Harris-Lopez collided in the end zone. ODU was there for the scoop and score.
Now that is a way to quiet a raucous crowd. Unbelievable play, as we talked about, as you mentioned, Jay. Last week, ODU 5 turnovers. Here they get one themselves for a big play early to start this game.
Lucas struck, right place, right time, as Wisłowski and Harris-Lopez collided. And Old Dominion has shocked the sellout crowd here in Harrisonburg. Riley Callahan puts the extra point right through, and we've got to take a bunch of looks at this one.
In these games, Jay, they come down to fundamentals, and this is, you got to have better communication there. I got it, you got it, and they have two guys right in the same area. It causes the miscommunication there. Wisłowski tries to get it out, and then the ball just pops out right into the hands of ODU.
Lucas struck, the sophomore safety. Just right place, right time. Ball bounces his way. He walks into the end zone. And Old Dominion, we were just talking about how their bugaboo has been fumbling the football. They had 5 turnovers last week, and this week a fumble bounces their way.
Yeah, they got to be saying to themselves, good, it's now maybe it's our turn to get some takeaways, and none bigger. I mean, here we are, Jay, 6 seconds into this game, and ODU with a 7-0 lead.
And the bizarre part for Wisłowski and Harris-Lopez is they got to do it all over again. Right. They head right back out there.
And I'm sure the conversation on the sidelines, look, somebody take it, call the other guy off. You can't have 2 guys waiting to receive the ball. Here we go.
This time, Harris-Lopez fields it cleanly. He takes it just shy of the 25-yard line. And Alonzo Barnett, the JMU offense, takes the field for the first time, already trailing 7-0 due to the special teams miscue. Going against ODU's 3-3-5 defense.
Yeah, and that 3-3-5, Jay, you know I'm going to nerd out during the course of this game here. It's a unique scheme that ODU plays. We'll get into that, but for Alonzo Barnett, I think him in the run game and the scramble game is going to be huge. But he's really playing great football at this moment in time.
He's got the starting running back Wayne Knight on his left hip. Been a breakout season for the redshirt junior out of the backfield. He gets the carry on first down. Not much running room. Let's take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Freestyle Libre.
And there's a bunch of them, hard to pick just 4 here, but Mario Easterly, he's that middle of safety in this 3-3-5 scheme they play. And Wayne Knight, one of the more dynamic running backs in all the Sun Belt, a small guy, but he packs a punch.
2nd and 8, Barnett slings it, caught for a JMU first down. That's Landon Ellis, coming off a monster performance last week where he had 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. First grab of today's game goes for 11.
Yeah, and I like that play there. You got a guy in Landon Ellis who's hot. He's coming off a big game. Get him involved in this football game early. Good, 6'2", 213 pounds. He'll have an impact today.
First and 10, Barnett, pressure coming. Gets it out to Wayne Knight. Turns it into positive yardage.
And that's what JMU's going to have to do today with this 3-3-5 scheme. The middle of the field, Jay, inside those hash marks, really packed in with a lot of guys. So what do? Get the ball to the perimeter. Get the ball to your athletes in space and try to stretch that defense horizontally as the game goes.
Jordan Fuller into the backfield, his first carry. Stopped just shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the JMU offense.
Jordan Fuller more the power back in this scheme here.
Fuller came over with his head coach Bob Chesney from Holy Cross to James Madison, where they had so much success at the FCS level, much like James Madison, and bumped up to the FBS, and they have showed that they belong and then some.
ODU packing it in tight.
Barnett takes it himself. A broken tackle. Alonzo Barnett is loose. Touchdown. 58-yard strike. Oh, you would never know Alonzo Barnett, coming off a torn ACL from a year ago. His coaches told us, you're seeing that burst again, and we saw it there on a 58-yard quarterback keeper for the touchdown.
And look at all the white jerseys packed up in there, right up tight here. It's 3rd and 1. We got to take it away, but when you pack those guys up tight, you get to the 2nd level like Alonzo Barnett does, and you see the speed, Jay. That ACL looks like he's recovered, he's healthy, and he is flying out there.
What a response from JMU after they fumbled the opening kick for an ODU touchdown. They've equalized early in this one.
third Saturday in October, Alabama and Tennessee.
All eyes on ABC, 7:30 Eastern for Alabama and Tennessee. The Vols haven't won at Bryant-Denny Stadium since 2003. Well, not a lot of teams have won since 2016. Bama, 62-2 record at home. How about James Madison in the top 5, 61-5 over the last decade?
That's nothing to shake a stick at. Home crowd, home advantage, and that's why you love college football, right? Alabama looks terrible in an opening game against Florida State. Now they rattle off 5 straight and are right back in that conversation.
Old Dominion gets their offense on the field for the first time with the game already 7-7. Colton Joseph and the ODU offense trying to bounce back from that disappointing loss to Marshall last Saturday.
One of the top quarterbacks, Jay, in the Sun Belt. He has thrown for 250 yards plus in 5 straight games, 49 plus rushing yards in 6 straight. He is a true dual threat.
Yeah, top 5 in the nation for rushing yards as a quarterback. They're in the same company as Haynes King, Talon Green at Arkansas. Been very effective. And hands it off on first down. JMU reads it well. That is a suffocating defensive line for the Dukes, so they show it off.
And for ODU, bevy of some great wide receivers that they have out there. We've got Trey Brown, who's had a big-time impact. Had a 71-yard TD catch last week. And Jacob Thomas, he's that rover right in the middle of the field.
Those are your impact players brought to you by Freestyle Libre. Joseph, this is what he can do, scrambling on second down. A flag flies as he goes out of bounds.
I think that's going to be a hold on Trey Brown, who we just mentioned, holding on the perimeter.
Holding, offense, number 2, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
That's Marshall Lewis, our referee today.
And with this scheme ODU runs, and you can see, I mean, they spread the field all the way to the sidelines. They want to stretch that defense out, and they require their wide receivers to block well in the perimeter.
Another flag flies pre-snap.
Offside, defense with contact, number 2, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So 2nd and 18 becomes 2nd and 13 after JMU jumped.
Just kind of comes off the ball before the snap.
Still a 2nd and long, 13 yards to go for ODU. Joseph takes to the air. It's caught for an ODU first down. Trey Brown, he atones for the holding call a couple of plays ago, gain at 23.
And that's the thing, Jay, when this offense, you spread the field like this, just gives your wide receivers a lot of space to get open. Trey Brown, the athlete, now they're going some tempo.
Joseph goes right back to Brown, who is our impact player for good reason. And he might have an extra heavy workload because Ja'Cory Thomas, fellow starting wide receiver for ODU, was ruled out about an hour before kickoff.
Yeah, that's a huge loss here. Ja'Cory Thomas, 6'3", 210, a big physical wide receiver. They'll miss him.
ODU into JMU territory. 2nd and 4 from the 49. Keep it on the ground with Joseph. He flies forward. Gets 2, so this will be 3rd and 2 upcoming for ODU.
I imagine ODU is going to go tempo here in the 3rd down short. This is kind of their MO. Here they are.
JMU, the only team in all of FBS to hold every opponent under 300 yards this season. 3rd and 2. And that defense delivers. A swarm of purple uniforms shoving back Jones. And that'll bring up 4th and short.
And on this one, JMU knew in a short yardage situation, ODU was going to try to run the ball up front. And look at my man, big number 0, Manuel Bush, 6'1", 348-pound nose tackle, just clogging up that middle. Weathersby, the linebacker, coming in for the stop.
So a decision to make for Ricky Ronnie, and he decides to punt this football away on 4th and short.
I think if there were any other defense, he might go for it there, but this JMU defense is the real deal.
That punt goes into the end zone for a touchback. JMU ball. When we come back, we've got a good one in the Sun Belt. Well, after James Madison fumbled the opening kickoff for an ODU touchdown, Alonzo Barnett to the JMU offense. Incredible response. Barnett, a career-long 58-yard touchdown to cap off the drive to tie this at 7.
Yeah, and I told you before the game, this is a very important element, the quarterback run game. And Alonzo Barnett, again, once he gets into that second level, there's nobody back there. And this was kind of the kryptonite for ODU's defense last week in that upset versus Marshall. Carlos Del Rio Wilson, the Marshall quarterback, 95 yards on the ground. And right now, the quarterback run game very effective here early for James Madison.
That was the first defensive touchdown ODU has allowed on the opening drive this season. JMU's defense gets a stop, so ball back to Alonzo Barnett with the JMU offense. Wayne Knight running it on first down. Following his blockers, tumbling forward for a gain of 8.
Yeah, I just love Wayne Knight. I mean, 5'7", 190, but I mean, he can absolutely fly. And I compare him to a guy that I played against and absolutely hated playing against, Darren Sproles in the league. I was with the Chiefs, he was with the Chargers, and man, those were some not fun days on the old gridiron.
Other than the height, what makes you compare him to Sproles?
He can hide around those blocks, but then the explosiveness. You know, just to finish that up, I mean, yeah, it's one thing to be the small size, but the burst, the 0 to 60 in both these guys, and Wayne Knight certainly has that.
Barnett bounces that throw well short, brings up 3rd and 2 after the incompletion.
I still like JMU with a quarterback run option, maybe even a two-way go for Alonzo Barnett.
Well, that's what they went to on the last 3rd and short, and it led to a 58-yard touchdown for Barnett. This time he pulls it, play action, finds the big tight end for a JMU first down. Josh Pfeiffer, his first catch of the season, goes for 19 to keep the drive alive.
Dean Kennan, the offensive coordinator for JMU, has this ODU defense all out of sorts right now. Same thing, they packed that line of scrimmage, going to take away the short yardage run game, and boom, there goes the tight end pop pass down the middle.
Pfeiffer, known as a run blocker, first catch of the season. At 6'6", Barnett just lofted it up there for him. 1st and 10 after the third down conversion. Barnett, quick hitter, finds Wisłowski. He's driven back after a gain of 3.
And Wisłowski, Jay, as a guy I think is going to be a key factor in this game. He's that short area quickness kind of guy. You like to just get him out in space, let him just find those holes in the defense, sit down and get him the ball.
You're just hoping that Wisłowski has a short memory, because he fumbles the opening kickoff of this game. ODU scoops it up for a touchdown just 6 seconds into this matchup. JMU has responded brilliantly ever since that opening kickoff miscue. Blown up in the backfield. DeAndre Lynch, shot out of a cannon.
Excellent play by ODU and DeAndre Lynch. Cole Daniels, one of their other nose tackles, the veteran, not available today. That's a huge loss, but DeAndre Lynch, a good job just kind of following down that block, but keeping his eyes in the backfield for the ball carrier.
After the tackle for loss, it's a 3rd and 8. Barnett back to throw. Steps up, slings it, and it's caught for a JMU first down. Landon Ellis, he's been the go-to guy for Barnett in the passing game.
And ODU, they bring 5, try to get a little bit of pressure on Barnett, but I love what he did there. Just sat back in that pocket, cool and calm, didn't rush it, found Ellis, and put the ball on the money.
Ellis has been the big-time playmaker out of the wide receiver room, coming in from Richmond, playing some excellent football in a JMU uniform this season. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground game. Wayne Knight couldn't turn the corner. Loss of 2. Jackson Forrest, the true freshman from Concord, North Carolina. Great tackle there. He's played some big minutes in his first season.
He has. That was a great job of hunting right there. Jackson Forrest. There's just so many, the shifts and motions and, misdirection, and good job of him eyeing that ball carrier.
Second and 12, play action. Barnett in trouble. Escapes the sack. Nobody open, so decides to just tuck it and take it out of bounds for positive yardage. Gain of 4.
Full breath on the pressure there, coming right up the middle, and a good job by Barnett. Again, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's strong, got a strong lower body, shakes off the tackle, a little pump, and saves the play.
Well, if you're James Madison, you probably know you're in 4-down territory here. Probably have 2 plays to pick up this first down. Barnett runs it himself. ODU defends it well this time. After Barnett on the opening drive took it 58 yards on a quarterback keeper, bottled up for no gain there.
Now you got a decision here, because I agree with you, Jay. If they pick up 3 or 4 yards, they're certainly going for it, but Barnett gets stuffed. Again, it's just that this 3-3-5 is just very complex, and guys all of a sudden aren't there, and then they're pinching, they're wrapping around, and they caught SJMU offense on that play, going to force them to punt.
Well, very rarely you will see a team punt from the opposing 37-yard line, but that's what JMU's doing here. Patrick Ray trying to pin ODU deep, and he does. Perfectly executed by the punter Ray at JMU's special teams unit. ODU has it from their own 2-yard line. When we come back, tied at 7 in Harrisburg. Start your Sunday tomorrow. NFL Countdown has you covered. 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. They'll tell you everything you need to know ahead of a busy Sunday in the NFL. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. We have got a beautiful day in Harrisonburg, Virginia. 77 and sunny. Great weather this time of year. And ODU and James Madison tied at 7. ODU pinned back at their own 2-yard line. Colton Joseph, the dangerous dual threat quarterback, standing in his own end zone. Decides to throw it. Completes the pass, and Trey Brown is loose. Nobody in front of him. A foot race. He's gone. 98-yard touchdown. What a play. Joseph to Brown. And ODU strikes on a 98-yard touchdown.
This game has been unbelievable. Fireworks early here at James Madison. Trey Brown, we talked about his impact. He was one of our impact players, and he is coming up huge already.
ODU, a daunting full field in front of them, and on first down, they get all 98 they need.
And Colton Joseph, he has the ability to run the ball or throw it, but he holds this thing, just waits just a tick longer for Trey Brown to be able to get open, and he just puts the ball right up high where only his wide receiver can get it, and then you see the speed. Talk about he had that 71-yard touchdown catch in the final minute of the first quarter last week and comes up with a huge one right there. And again, I love how Colton Joseph, he knew he had time. He didn't have to rush it. The protection was good. He hung in there just a split second longer, and that allowed Trey Brown to get open.
And that ODU touchdown of 98 yards from Joseph to Trey Brown is the longest pass in the history of Old Dominion football.
And this is a big play offense, Jay. They have 5 touchdowns this year of 65+ yards. Colton Joseph has TD runs of 78, 75. I mean, they can just jump up and nail you.
I think part of that, Rocky, is what we just talked about before that drive, which is Colton Joseph is such a threat to run the football that you have to keep your eyes on him in the running lanes, and that opens up some pass options for him.
Well, look, if you're Colin Hitchler, the defensive coordinator for JMU, you would love to double a guy like Trey Brown, but you can't bring that extra guy into the box or out of the box because of that run threat of Colton Joseph. That's what stretching that field so wide in their scheme does. You like to get a 2-for-1 player on that overhang where he can come up on the run but then be able to defend in the pass, but the width, the splits don't allow you to play a 2-for-1 guy.
Old Dominion, a 14-7 lead. The Monarchs with 2 very unique touchdowns in this opening quarter. The opening kickoff fumbled. They take it in for a 2-yard touchdown, and then a 98-yard strike on the first play of the drive. JMU looking to respond. We'll see if the fireworks continue. Barnett, a quarterback run again. Ankle tackle right at the line to gain.
And Jay, I think this is even more of a huge part of the game. It's the quarterback run game, as I talked about, but also the scrambling. You know, when JMU just gives you 3 guys on that rush and they drop 8 into coverage, that's going to allow some open rush lanes for Lonzo Barnett. He's got to recognize that and make the right decision.
1st and 10 after the 10-yard gain for Barnett. He's throwing on first down. Plenty of room to run again. DeGennaro. Touchdown, JMU.
What is going on? This is awesome.
The offensive fireworks continue. 65-yard explosive play action. Back and forth these 2 teams go.
And And just a perfect ball on the slant route. And you get inside and look, on that particular play, ODU, no one in the middle of the field. Usually they have a couple guys inside those hash marks. A great read by Barnett and De Janeiro with the speed to take it in.
Well, if you like scoring, this is the quarter for you. 2 touchdowns apiece in what has been an explosive start to this Sun Belt showdown.
And I think it's JMU's ability early in this game, Jay, to hit the ball on the perimeter and kind of just widen that defense out. And they bring a guy that would normally be in the middle of the field. He's gone, and that's the perfect time to throw that slant route, and De Janeiro does the rest.
So after Old Dominion scores a 98-yard touchdown on their first play of the drive, it takes JMU just 2 plays to go 75 yards.
I mean, what a fun game, a fun conference, and arguably the biggest Sun Belt matchup of the year so far. We have fireworks.
We told you right before kickoff, the winner of this game goes to the driver's seat in the Sun Belt East. The loser really falls out of it, according to the ESPN analytics. So a monster matchup in the Sun Belt, and it has delivered so far. 14-14. And we've still got more than 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. What a start for Colton Joseph in this ODU offense going against the James Madison defense. It's the only team in college football to hold every opponent they've played this season under 300 yards. And Joseph, known for the explosive flair, both with his legs and his arm, has showed it off so far.
And I think if you're ODU, you've had some great scoring opportunities, but James Madison has just answered every single time, and now it's up to Ricky Ronnie and company to try to find a way to answer back and get back into the flow here on offense.
A first quarter that's had it all. What will the final 3 minutes have in store? This drive starts from their own 25. Much better field position from their own 2 on the previous possession, which led to the 98-yard touchdown. A couple of broken tackles, hard running for an ODU first down. Devin Roche, gain of 13.
Run right up the gut here, again, spreading that D out. Tyler Brown. If Tyler Brown wasn't there, that thing was to the house as well.
Joseph keeps it himself. He's got the first down. Bounced out of bounds. Colton Joseph, so explosive. The sophomore quarterback from Newport Beach, California.
And this is a 2-on-1 fast break they run. He's got to read it every single play. Do I hand it? Do I pull it? Or do I throw it? And when he makes the right decision, depending on what the defense gives him, it's oftentimes for a nice gain.
5th in the nation for rushing yards as a quarterback. They call him Cowboy Colton. Definitely a risk taker, but it pays off more often than not. Takes a shot down the sideline. A flag flies in. Elijah Culp was in coverage against Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding.
On the first look, Jay, it looked like there was some contact and some grabbing, pushing by Culp.
Pass interference, defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And the officials agree with that assessment. Pass interference against Culp.
I mean, he's actually forced him all the way out of bounds, but then you see the right hand grabbing the jersey. I think that's what pulled the flag.
Looks like Gladding had a fistful of jersey too. First down after the penalty. Ball placed to the 30-yard line. Roche taken down. Nice open field tackle made by Curtis Harris Lopez. Gain of 7.
Another good decision by Colton Joseph. You saw JMU there. They bring those 2 linebackers up in those A gaps. Quick snap, and you get the ball to Roche on the perimeter.
ODU trying to get back to that tempo we saw in the opening possession. Only gained 2 there. Sets up 3rd and 1.
They usually like tempo on 3rd down here. I think now they'll slow it down here, this area of the field. Colton Joseph going to read that defense, try to make perfect read.
Third and 1. Joseph hands it off. Good decision. Roche explodes through the hole for an ODU first down as the Monarchs march into the red zone.
It was a good decision, but Jay, this was excellent blocking by this veteran offensive line. There's TJ Lott coming around, is throwing a block as well. Lots of seniors, upperclassmen on this ODU line.
Joseph hands it off again. That time, the JMU defensive line gets the penetration. Emmanuel Bush, who was in on that tackle, stays down after the stop. James Madison has so much quality depth on the defensive line. They rotate 9-10 guys through the front 4. No real drop-off, according to their defensive coordinator, Colin Hitchler.
And that's just something in today's college football, Jay, you don't see the depth because of the transfer portal, right? Guys, if you're sitting on the bench somewhere, you're going to jump out and go start somewhere. But here at JMU, they found a way to, as you mentioned, have really 9 defensive linemen. And this is one of the best. Emmanuel Bush, he is what I call a linebacker's best friend because having played the position, you love a big guy up front that commands a double team. You must double team Emmanuel Bush. And that usually leaves a linebacker open to go make a tackle.
Michael McMullen comes in for Bush as he gets attended to over on the JMU sideline. Ahead of his 2nd and 9, 35 seconds remaining in what has been an incredible opening quarter here in Harrisonburg. Joseph, play action, surveys, floats it to the back of the end zone. And it's out the back looking for Trey Brown.
And that was one where I think Colton Joseph forced that a little bit. There was double coverage, great job by Elijah Culp. He had help over the top as well. It's like Colton Joseph's wanting to take a shot to one of his best wide receivers.
First incomplete pass of the afternoon for Joseph. Sets up a 3rd and 9.
JMU defense trying to change up the front, but they better get lined up. That left side is overloaded. Now they're bounced out.
Joseph throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown ODU. And it's Trey Brown again. His 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And ODU is back in front.
I just love the chess match, Jay, that is going on right now. Colton Joseph is in this JMU defense. And look, they line up everybody to the offense's left. It takes a defender out of the middle of the field. So what do you run? A slant route. Puts the ball on the money. Tees it off. See you later.
A missed extra point there. And in a game with so much scoring, you never know when a point will be at a premium. Riley Callahan just shanked the extra point there. So ODU, a 6-point lead.
Jake, kicking field goals has not been a strength. The kicking game has not been a strength of ODU here recently. We'll see if that comes back to bite them.
So what an incredible first quarter this has been. It started just 6 seconds in on a fumble by Braden Wisłowski on the opening kickoff. ODU a scoop and score. Barnett on the next possession, 58 yards to the house. ODU responds with a 98-yard throw 75 yards to the house. And then finally, ODU puts a sustained drive together that we just saw that resulted in a Trey Brown touchdown. And that was the first drive where ODU didn't score in
the first couple plays.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So a 20-14 lead for the Monarchs after the missed extra point. What's incredible about what ODU has done in this first quarter is JMU, one of the best defenses in all of college football. Coming into the day, 229 yards allowed per game. Just in this first quarter, ODU has nearly 200.
And we put the graphic up earlier. No team has gained 300 yards on this defense, and they're already 2/3 of the way there is ODU.
So much football still to play. He's still got 3 quarters to go. Could be first to 50 in a Sun Belt shootout.
Going to break the scoreboard here.
Wayne Knight out of the backfield. Takes that for a gain of 4 to finish what has been an exciting opening quarter here in Harrisonburg. Winner of this game goes into the driver's seat in the Sun Belt East. We head to the second quarter with ODU putting 20 points up in this first quarter. 34 points total in the first 15 minutes. We've still got 3 more fun quarters to go. Start of the second quarter in our Sun Belt shootout. 34 points scored in that opening quarter, a heavyweight fight between two teams that threw some big punches in that first quarter, Rocky Boyman.
Absolutely, just going toe-to-toe, slinging it out, big plays, mistakes in the special teams game, but then the offense is answering. As we showed before the show started here, again, the winner of this game goes in the driver's seat, but even maybe more importantly, the loser really falls out of favor with a chance to get back in this thing.
If you want a chance to play for a Sun Belt championship and win the Sun Belt East, this is one you have to have, and it's two teams that have come out and played like it. JMU with the ball, trailing 20-14 at the start of this second quarter. Wayne Knight the carry there, and a gain of 5.
And I think, I mean, if you're JMU, you would obviously love a longer, sustained drive here, keep that hot ODU offense and Colton Joseph on the sideline.
Well, that's the thing. It's been explosive play after explosive play. Now, which defense is going to start asserting themselves in this matchup? ODU with a chance here on a 3rd and 1, trying to get JMU off the field. Hand off to Fuller, and he carries the pile for a gain of 4. That'll keep the drive alive for the Dukes offense.
And the cat and mouse game here, Alonzo Barnett, he wants to try to affect the safeties for ODU. And they're a lot of times hanging around that middle of the field. They want to try to get them up in the run game. If they do, then that opens up the middle of the field. We've seen that slant pass to DeJaneiro earlier.
Barnett throws to the flat. Good catch by Knight. He turns it upfield into ODU territory, spinning his way free, and then taken down past the 40. Wayne Knight, a gain of 23.
Explosive, small size, and he's just hard to bring down, the low center of gravity. Steiger finally brings him down, but again, just get that ball to him in the perimeter, let him cut back, juke, spin, whole deal. That's not fun, let me tell you.
That's that Darren Sproles comparison you made in the first quarter. Play action. Barnett taking a shot. It's caught. And a flag comes in after the catch by DeJaneiro. The Kendre Steiger put the hit on DeJaneiro. This might be targeting.
Result of the play is a completed catch. Personal foul. Targeting. Defense number 2. Previous plays under further review.
What a job by DeJaneiro to hang on to this football with the targeting called on Steiger.
We'll get a look at Ricky Ryan. Doesn't like the call. See, to me, he's leading with that shoulder. Let's get another look at it here. To me, he's not leading with the crown of his helmet. The shoulder is leading the way more.
Definitely launches.
He launches, but in my opinion, that he's leading with that left shoulder.
Now, the ruling on the field was targeting, so they'll need that indisputable video evidence that it was not targeted.
And his shoulder was, came obviously into the shoulder pads of the receiver there.
Now, either way, it's going to be 1st and goal for JMU. Just a matter of if Steiger will be tossed for targeting or not.
And I'm trying to figure out what happened there too, because Brandon Crutchfield was the corner on that side. If he just let the receiver go. Let's check out the all-22 while we're waiting on the call here. And you see Brandon Crutchfield, the corner. He's down the bottom. And I don't know if he thought it was a run, but he does not. I mean, you got to at least redirect that wide receiver. Cannot allow him. It's too deep. That safety's coming from the half the field. You got to reroute that receiver to allow your safety to get time to come over that sideline.
Personal foul for targeting. Defense number 2. Number 2 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest. Half the distance to the goal line from the end of the run.
And
First down.
ODU is without Steiger for the rest of the game. Ball will be placed in between the 2 and the 3 yard line for JMU.
Yeah, I don't agree with the call, but that's what they're going to go with here. I think the head is incidental in it. He comes with the left shoulder onto the right shoulder of the receiver. But nevertheless, ball in great field position here. Steiger is out.
Short yardage back Jordan Fuller into the game behind Alonzo Barnett, who's been brilliant in his first half, 8 of 9 through the air. Also a 58-yard rushing touchdown. Two dual threat quarterbacks that have shown off in this first half. Barnett looking to answer here. Hands it off to Fuller. Well defended by ODU, swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
If you notice, ODU normally runs that 3-man front. Down here, this area of the field near the goal line, they go to a more of a really a 5-man front. 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. I think James Madison might have to try to get something to the perimeter here as ODU packs it in.
Flag flies pre-snap.
Full start. Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's the tight end Pfeiffer who moved early for JMU.
You see him there on the right side of your screen. A little bit when they try their switch there. Now the rule is a defensive, you're allowed to switch as long as you're not doing it with the intent to pull a guy off sides. I just think coincidentally it did pull him off right there.
Barnett, pressure coming, throws, it's caught, touchdown JMU. Nick DeGennaro, his second touchdown of the game, ties it at 20.
And these quarterbacks today, Jay, both of them are throwing absolute darts here. And I love it. It looks like they are going to go with a perimeter screen there. DeGennaro with the block and then the release on the slant route. That's an excellent play design there by Dean Kennedy, the offensive coordinator. And that's why you go that perimeter game. You throw the ball with screen, throw it outside, throw it to the perimeter, make guys tackle, and then you release a guy onto that second level and a nice throw.
The extra point is good from Suarez as JMU takes their first lead of the afternoon.
And these wide receivers of JMU, they block, so you got to respect it, but this time they blocked in the release. Alonzo Barnett with the strike, perfect placement, 21-20, JMU.
take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Capital One. Already going to be changes to the top 10 after last night. Louisville taking down number 2 Miami. Ole Miss and Georgia currently battling it out on ABC. And LSU going down in Nashville. How about Vandy, Rocky? We were there about a month ago. Clark Lee in his Commodores. To me, they're the story of college football right now.
I mean, talk about a monumental turnaround that Clark Lee has orchestrated at a place that's been historically very tough to win.
So let's go back to that JMU touchdown.
Yeah, and what you'll see, that's Davon Isles, the safety. He's going to bite on Jalen Sanchez, that bubble screen in the flat, and when he does, DeJaneiro releases. There's nobody else back there. Perfect body placement.
How about Nick DeJaneiro coming into the game on the season? 8 receptions, 97 yards, no touchdowns. Today, he's got 106 and 2 scores.
He's hot. I always believe you got a guy who's hot. He's in the flow. Keep feeding him. Keep feeding number 11 if you're Alonzo Barnett.
Career performance already, and we still have 12 minutes left in this first half. The offensive fireworks continue. ODU with the football, trailing 21-20. That's Markai James, his first touch of the ball. Very talented redshirt freshman running back out of Lincoln, Delaware, coming off a career best 83 yards last week.
Yeah, a big part of that run game really emerged last week.
They go right back to James, and he's met, defended well. Gannon Weathersby, the junior linebacker, read that perfectly.
Gannon Weathersby is playing one heck of a ball game. He's got one heck of a face paint job going on as well there, if you see. Yeah, he's just able to read through the trash and come up and tackle James with authority.
Third and 6. Joseph tosses it for an ODU first down. Needed 6, got 7 to Gladding. And the offense continues to get the better of the defenses in this matchup.
It was a great job in blitz pickup by Markai James. He comes from the opposite side to the blitzing linebacker. Weathersby picks him up, allows Colton Joseph time to make it.
Joseph rolling left, play action. It flips it to Dawson Johnson, the transfer from Florida, for a gain of 1.
I've been real impressed, Jay, with Colton Joseph and his decision-making. He's been definitive. Again, so much is in his hands. A lot of quarterbacks around college football. The coach is making the call. No. Colton Joseph, number 1, is making the call with the run, the pass, the whole deal.
He's got the pen last, and he's proven why. 2nd and 9.
Jamie really liking showing those linebackers up in that box and those A-gaps and then bringing one or dropping one back.
Right up the middle, huge hole opens up. Markai James ran right through it into JMU territory on a gain of 15.
And a great job by the right guard, Martin Woodsma, the redshirt junior 55. Look at that, boom. Getting back up to the second level, Brock and Trent Hendrick allowing that play to pop.
And 2 talented defenses, but neither one of them getting any traction in this game. It has been all offense, and ODU putting together another impressive drive. Joseph keeps it. Good tackle, though. Tyler Brown wrestles down Joseph. Only a gain of 1. It could have been a lot more.
What a great tackle. There's nothing more I respect than being able to make open field tackles, because it's so hard, especially against a guy like Joseph.
Play action. Joseph looking to the air, flushed left, hit as he released it. What a catch for an ODU first down. Gladding climbed the invisible ladder to make a spectacular grab, and there's a flag thrown in the secondary. And Joseph got popped as he floated this ball up to Gladding.
Legal substitution, defense, penalties decline. Shelton plays the first down.
We've got to take another look at this. Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding. What a grab.
Good throw there. Puts it up and away, but sometimes you just need a wide receiver to jump out of the stadium and haul one in. That's a quarterback's best friend, a wide receiver with a big catch radius.
And it's another first down for this ODU offense. Bubble screen, right back to Gladding. Another flag comes in as Gladding was shoved out of bounds.
That flag came in from the upper deck, I think.
Holding, offense number 2, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So that negates the gain to Gladding. Trey Brown called for the hold there.
Called it for holding twice here in this game. I think the other one was, I believe, on the first drive. Yeah, you can see right there at the end, he really just wrapped his right arm around the defender and pulled him in.
1st and 15 after the holding call. Joseph looking to throw, floats it right into Gladding again. This drive belongs to Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding. Joseph led him on a gain at 23.
And there's so many different types of throws a quarterback must make. Sometimes you got to dart one in, sometimes you just got to loft it and just gently lay it right into the hands of your wide receiver Gladding on that over route.
Into the red zone after the gain at 23. Keep it on the ground with James. Only a gain of 2.
Remember, for JMU, Jay, it's holding on to the football. Last week, the 5 turnovers, a couple of fumbles. Game like this, against opponents that look like that, you better hold on the ball.
Joseph, great protection, wide open for an ODU touchdown. Dawson Johnson on busted coverage. Joseph found him on a great throw. And ODU back in front.
Dawson Johnson, just 6 catches on the year. There's his 7th. And another good job by Colton Joseph, just maintaining composure in that pocket and throwing a beauty.
Riley Callahan missed the last extra point. This time he puts it through. So ODU back in front. These two teams just won't stop scoring. Haymakers in a Sun Belt shootout. And ODU up on the road, 27-21 after that touchdown. D'Antoni, who fell in love with JMU when he played in the Marching Royal Dukes marching band, never misses a home game. One catch. Joe lives 550 miles away in Brighton, Michigan. Every Thursday night, the engineer packs up his Ford, tailgate set up, floor to ceiling.
Number 18
not an inch
for Old
goes to
Dominion
waste,
is
and
now
then
wearing
Friday
number-
morning, it's an 8.5-hour drive to Harrisonburg, a drive that has become familiar over the last decade. In fact, he joked he could do it blindfolded when we met him at the tailgate. His wife, Brittany, daughter, Kirsten, they make great co-pilots. And I'll tell you what, after experiencing the tailgate, you can understand why you make that 1,100-mile road trip well worth it for Joe and the Antonis.
I mean, this is the heartbeat of college football, the fan, which is why you do such a great job with this segment every week, Jay. And they got some loyal, rabid fans at JMU. There's one of them.
And what a game they're getting.
I know.
In front of this sellout crowd, a game that will likely decide who wins the Sun Belt East when it's all said and done. Old Dominion has come to play. They've put 27 on the Dukes defense, and now Alonzo Barnett and the JMU offense a chance to respond, and both of these teams' offenses have continued to answer the bell.
It's going to be what defense gets the rare stop in this game. And also a game like this, again, you know, turnovers always play huge. Got to keep taking care of the ball. Offense got to keep pushing the ball down the field.
Stops have been at a premium. Offensive explosion in this first half. Barnett and the Dukes trying to continue that on this drive. Quarterback keeper. Barnett takes it out of bounds. Gain of 2.
And you do got to love Alonzo Barnett. Here's a guy who was benched in 2023. He had the ACL in the late last season. Comes back, recovers. He's in a rotation with Sluka, and I really think he has emerged not only as the starting quarterback definitively, but I think he's playing at a high level right now.
Barnett on a 2nd and 8. Pressure comes wide open over the middle of the field. George Pettaway, his first reception of the afternoon, takes it for a JMU first down.
It's back and forth, perimeter, middle of the field, perimeter, middle of the field, trying to stretch things open. Both these quarterbacks making the right calls.
This has been an offensive clinic between two dual threat quarterbacks in Barnett and Joseph for ODU. Both offenses in a great rhythm. 5:30 left to this first half. Pettaway this time out of the backfield. They go back-to-back. George Pettaway there. Transfer from North Carolina.
Number 6, George Pettaway. Back by number 34, Joe Colbert.
JMU also just give you so many formations, and within that they give you lots of shifts and motions, give you a lot to think about.
I just think at some point one of these two defenses will get a stop and take control of this game. Barnett barreling forward there. You're not going to see Alonzo Barnett slide.
Another great job over field tackle that time with Seth Noatala, the linebacker, a career high 12 tackles last week. Doing something that's not the easiest thing to do in the world. Tackle Alonzo Barnett in space.
And now Atala, the former JMU linebacker. He thought he was done with football after 3 years with the Dukes. Instead, transferred to ODU to join his brother. And he has been a mainstay now in the linebacker room. 3rd and 2. Barnett right on the money to keep the drive alive. To the tight end, Lakota Dupree on a gain of 7 to keep the chains moving.
But Barnett has really spread the ball around, and that's key for a quarterback. Sometimes the tendency is to just zero in on one guy, but I mean, we've seen Pfeiffer with a catch, the tight end, and now Dupree, the tight end, and these tight ends in this game, Jay, I think because of the style of defense that ODU plays, they're coming up to be big factors in this game.
Yeah, Barnett, 11 completions to 7 different receivers. Taking a shot, right on the money, dropped it in for Landon Ellis. And JMU back into the red zone.
I mean, this ball is put on an absolute dime. I mean, Zion Frank has good coverage. I mean, the ball is just perfectly thrown on an outside route over the wide receiver's outside shoulder. That way, if he doesn't complete it, it just goes out of bounds, but he puts it right on the money.
Gain of 36 to Ellis. Handoff, Fuller. Trying to push that pile. Gained 1.
You know, one thing, Jay, we haven't seen so far in this game is Matthew Saluka, the backup quarterback. We've seen multiple times. Thought he might be a factor in this game, but the way this offense is producing, probably not. Don't need to, but look at this throw. I mean, that is just clinic tape of how to throw a fade ball to the outside.
Yeah, when you've got Barnett in a rhythm like this, you don't want to.
Yeah, don't do it. And I think, Jay, and I know you do too, because we've talked about it, I think sometimes that quarterback rotation has gotten this JMU offense out of rhythm. Sticking with one guy today seems to be the plan.
Play clock down to 2. Bob Chesney has to use his first timeout with 2:23 remaining. JMU in the red zone, trailing 27-21, 2nd and 9 when we come back. ODU leads JMU 27-21, and Rocky Boyman, we have had elite quarterback play in this first half.
Nothing better than a college football game with 2 quarterbacks playing at a high level, going at it. You know, and it's these defenses are, and it's not like they're just wide open guys. These quarterbacks are making fantastic throws. Love the schemes of both these offenses, but these guys, Barnett and Colton Joseph, put on a clinic.
And Barnett looking for more. JMU trailing by 6, 2:24 remaining in this first half. In the red zone for a 2nd and 9. Empty set for Barnett. Looks right. Nobody open. Scrambles right. Barnett trying to keep the play alive. Throws. It's caught. What a catch. Lakota Dupree. Barnett threaded the needle. And JMU another first down. Right ahead of the 2-minute timeout.
Jay, any quarterback coach would tell you never, and I repeat, never have a late throw over the middle. Except when it works right there.
And that reaction says it all as Dupree snared that ball one-handed. Wow. 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
With 2 minutes remaining in this first half, it has been an offensive explosion. JMU trailing 27-21. The Dukes have a 1st and goal here to try and nose in front ahead of halftime.
Off a fantastic one-handed catch by Lakota Dupree.
Fuller untouched into the end zone. A huge hole opened up. Jordan Fuller ran right through it to tie it at 27. We keep waiting for one of these two defenses to make a play, but it is all offense in this Sun Belt shootout.
Yeah, nothing fancy about this play here. They're just packing the line of scrimmage. A couple nice kick-out blocks by the offensive line. Piling in the end zone, and now if you're ODU, the way this thing's been going, more than enough time to score 157 and 3 timeouts.
Now, Rocky, you just mentioned the amazing catch by Lakota Dupree to set up the Fuller touchdown. Let's take a look at today's good hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
And Alonzo Barnett's rolling to his right, and they always tell quarterbacks, don't ever have a late throw over the middle. Well, guess what? It happens to work, but it works because of an unbelievable one-handed catch by Dupree. I mean, guys, this was a converted defensive end. Dakota Dupree's played defense most of his life, and he comes here to JMU, and Coach Chesney told us yesterday early on it didn't look real good, and all of a sudden turned that thing around in a fantastic catch, great hands, and there's a touchdown run.
Yeah, Bob Chesney told us, look, we converted from defensive end to tight end. I watch him early on and think, he doesn't have great hands, maybe we move him back to defense. Well, he said now he's got the best hands on the team, and he showed off there with the one-handed
I don't know how that happens.
snare.
Usually the guy can catch or he can't, but look, he put the work in, and he's become a big-time weapon at tight end position.
But you're a lifelong defensive player, linebacker, but you said a couple of times when you were playing with the Colts, you just for fun get into the wide receiver line with Peyton Manning, and he liked your hands.
Yeah, line up with Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark, and I just taught them guys a thing or two, Except when I dropped one, I'd catch like 12, and I'd drop one, and Peyton would get mad at me. I'm like, dude, I play defense.
Well, this was with a fun first half, and the fireworks may not be done. ODU with all 3 timeouts. They are a quick strike offense known for explosives.
And if JMU can get a stop here, they have 2 timeouts and get the ball back and possibly score again.
Handed off to James. He's upended right to the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out. No whistle. James scrambled to it. So keeps possession for ODU, but a loss of 6 on the fumble.
Remember, that's been the bugaboo of ODU, especially last week, the 5 turnovers. Fortunate enough to get back on that one. Not a way to start a 2-minute drive off, losing 6.
And ODU letting a lot of time tick off this clock. Joseph keeps it. He's wrestled down.
Second charge timeout.
Eziogu with the stop to set up 3rd and 15.
And I think Ricky Ronnie is looking for a horse collar or a face mask on that play. The way he was brought down to the turf by Eziogu.
And to your point, Rocky, JMU uses one of their 2 timeouts to potentially get the ball back here before halftime.
Let's look at the tackle here. Joseph keeps it. I couldn't tell from that angle. It looks like he might have got around the front. Here it is. Here's a better shot. No, that's clean.
Yep.
That's clean. There's no face mask involved at all. And yeah. And it all started by getting a negative yards play, the fumble on 1st down. That got you behind the sticks. And yes, now JMU in a great position with still 1 timeout left to get this ball back.
Here's pinned back on a 3rd and 15. Sellout crowd in full voice, and they have forced a false start.
False start, offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down. There is no
That
option
home
for a 10-second
crowd for
deduction.
JMU, they haven't had too much to cheer about on defense, but they make a huge impact there. And it'll now be 3rd and 20 for Colton Joseph in this ODU offense as the crowd roars their defense on again.
Got Trey Brown all the way down the bottom of the screen here. Now they're going to run it.
And JMU will use that final timeout to preserve more than a minute on the first half clock.
And I do like that situation where you're running it and forcing JMU to use the timeout, the last one of the half.
What a first half for Bob Chesney's team. You fumble the opening kickoff. You're down 7-0. 6 seconds into this game, you've battled back to take a lead heading into halftime, and now a chance to create some separation if you can put more points on the board in this final minute.
Yeah, and to me that shows a well-coached team, a well-disciplined team, something catastrophic. Nothing more catastrophic than fumbling the opening kickoff for a touchdown. If that happens, no sweat, they shake it off, weren't affected, no one's losing their mind on the sideline. They've settled in and played great ball here. Now up 1 point.
In a first half that has been all offense, that was the first 3 and out for either team. Wayne Knight calls for the fair catch just shy of the 45-yard line. We remind you, Week 7, Monday Night Football doubleheader, Bucs and Lions, with a special start time at 7 Eastern, and then Texans and Seahawks, your nightcap at 10 Eastern. Coverage begins 3 Eastern with NFL Live at Ford Field, followed by Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew.
Now, 2-minute drive here for JMU. First play, I always just think you don't need a home run, you don't need a big chunk yard, but you need something positive. Get this thing to 2nd and 5 at least to set yourself up for success later on.
Barnett plants his foot, tosses it wide open, getting out of bounds after the first down. Landon Ellis. He was carrying Alessandro on his back.
And for a second there, I thought he was going to try to take that back to the middle of the field. He'll get out of bounds. Great job on the crossing route. They cleared everything out with a lot of verticals and brought Landon Ellis. Really been the go-to guy for a couple weeks. With a nice catch.
53 seconds remaining for JMU into ODU territory. No timeouts. Barnett goes to the air, right back to Ellis this time. Couldn't quite connect.
Nice job in coverage by Zion Frink. That's well played. I mean, that's a well put ball too. Down and away. Now if you're Lons Barnett, you got Nick DeJaneiro, who's had a big day today. He's at the bottom of the screen here. If you get a one-on-one matchup, you might look at it. Here it is, man coverage.
DeJaneiro already 2 touchdowns in this first half. Barnett throws it way over the head of Sanchez down the opposing sideline.
I thought he
3rd and 10.
Yeah, he had DeJaneiro on like a skinny post route. I thought if he'd looked that way, watch, you see down at the bottom of the screen, if he lets that thing fly right there, he's going to catch that on the hash.
Barnett had 12 straight completions before back-to-back incompletions here. 3rd and 10.
I feel like ODU's going to want to drop 8 here.
Well, they send pressure. Barnett escapes. Falls forward, but shy of the first down marker. ODU does have all 3 timeouts if they want to stop the clock ahead of 4th down. A decision to make if you're Bob Chesney. Offense still on the field.
I think they want to put the pressure on JMU offensive side if they want to go for this thing, and looks like they are.
Now what you could do is hold it for one final snap and throw a Hail Mary to the end zone.
I think that's what they're going to do.
Barnett takes the snap. He's barking orders to go deep. Throws it down the sideline, and that falls incomplete to finish this first half. Oh, what a fun first half that was. Back and forth, offensive fireworks, and JMU a nose in front. 28-27 ODU will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, it's been a great job offensively. Both quarterbacks have been absolutely fantastic. Who's going to make the big plays late? Who's going to make that critical mistake in the second half. We got a huge ball game here at JMU. The Dukes up 28-27.
Harrisonburg, Virginia. An extremely fun first half between James Madison and Old Dominion. A Sun Belt shootout. The only difference is a missed extra point from ODU. That's why JMU has the narrow 1-point lead as we head to the second half. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you in that first half. An offensive explosion with some elite quarterback play.
If you like good quarterback play, keep tuning in, folks, because it's been absolutely incredible. Jay, both quarterbacks have thrown for over 200 yards, both multiple touchdowns, but within that, it's great decision making, it's incredible accuracy, it's poise, it's touch. I mean, they've absolutely put on a clinic. I mean, you like to think this is a game where which quarterback makes a bad decision at some point in this second half could give the other team a mark up.
Just absolutely back and forth after ODU scored the first touchdown 6 seconds into this game. A fumble on the opening kickoff that the Monarchs scooped and scored. And the ODU offense put up 275 yards of total offense. This is against a JMU defense that has not allowed 300 yards to an opponent all season, and ODU nearly did it in the first half. It'll be ODU that starts with the football, trailing by 1. And look, you're the only team in college football that hasn't allowed 300 yards in a game this season. ODU almost does it in the first half. That's how good Colton Joseph and the ODU offense was.
A career game for Colton Joseph, no doubt. You had 8 starts last year. It's been great so far this season, but it's all coming together here at JMU. He is exploding.
Joseph just 1 incompletion in that entire first half. Near perfect. And yet his team trails by 1. Joseph floats up a dangerous ball, and he's picked off. Justin Eaglin read it beautifully, and what a start to this second half for JMU.
And Jay, maybe a little too much confidence coming off that great first half, and just threw a ball he shouldn't have. First getting some pressure right there by Amar Thomas, right under the chops, and I think he has to short arm that throw. It can't lead the receiver. And then Eaglin just comes up, makes a great acrobatic catch for the interception. This is what we talked about, right? Like, which quarterback's going to make that bad decision, that bad play. And now the ball early in the second half goes back to JMU.
That is the first time either defense today has made a big impact play, and it comes on the first play from scrimmage in the second half. This is a golden opportunity for Alonzo Barnett, the JMU quarterback, who just took it for a gain of 9 in this Duke's offense, to create some separation in what has been a back and forth game. Neither team has been able to find that separation.
And I think if you're JMU, you'd love to just run the ball, chew some clock. You got the 3rd best rushing attack in the Sun Belt Conference. Keep Colton Joseph on the sideline.
Barnett pulls it again, quarterback keeper, and once again it's the right decision as he rumbles into ODU territory. A gain of 12 and another JMU first down.
Jay, remember at the beginning of this game I talked about how critical the quarterback run game was going to be in this. With this defense that ODU runs at 3-3-5, it's going to open up some opportunities for Alonzo Barnett. He is now taking advantage of them.
And Barnett with that carry, a career high 105 yards rushing, to go along with 250 yards passing. And we said it right before the second half kickoff. Elite quarterback play between Joseph and Barnett. And so far in the second half, a Joseph interception, and Alonzo Barnett trying to capitalize on it as Wayne Knight continues to be difficult to take down.
Does he have grease on him or something? I mean, you can't bring this guy down. And again, the diminutive stature, but he's powerful. He's got great contact balance.
Rocky, you compared him to Darren Sproles, somebody that you said you hated tackling from your NFL days.
Yeah, because, a guy like that, Knight and Sproles, they kind of hide behind the line, and then boom, then they bust out. But then you get them in space, and they're hard to bring down.
Knight does have 1 inch on Sproles at 5'7". 2nd and 8. Barnett right on the money. finds Landon Ellis for another JMU first down. And Ellis has proven to be the reliable go-to target in the passing game.
He's been fantastic. Last week, 6 catches for 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, and picking right up where he left off. I mean, he's just a wide receiver, Jay, does everything. He blocks on the perimeter, he makes big catches. All around, great wide receiver.
Barnett with pressure coming, trying to set up the screen game to Wayne Knight. Couldn't connect.
And it was there, too. He had Knight open, who had a little bit of a window to get up the field. Just one of the few errant throws we've seen by either of these quarterbacks today. I mean, if you ask me what is the top qualities of all the things about a quarterback, to me it's accuracy. If you got a guy open, can your guy get him the ball 99 times out of 100? That's winning quarterback play.
They go to the ground game. Fuller, a huge haul right up the middle. And the transfer from Holy Cross takes it for 9. 3rd and short upcoming.
Riley Robel is now starting to guard. He's been hurt, but see big 55 leading right up the field. Making some blocks. There he is. Also, Carter Sweezy, the left guard. Some key blocks there.
On 3rd and short, Barnett has been so good on the quarterback run game, including a 58-yard touchdown that came in the first half on a 3rd and 1. Barnett this time hands it off. Fuller trying to bulldoze. Needed 1, got 2. That moves the sticks inside the red zone here for JMU.
And for so many drives we've seen today, Jay, that are 1 or 2 play drives for the distance. Now a nice methodical drive for JMU here. Again, keeping Colton Joseph on the sideline. This is the 9th play of this drive.
Here's Wayne Knight, makes a man miss. Touchdown, JMU. The shifty redshirt junior cashes in on an ODU interception.
Don't do
for
it
the
to
touchdown.
him. Wayne Knight, Zion Frank, just broke his ankles in the open field. Unbelievable run there.
JMU finishes a 9-play drive after the interception by Colton Joseph. Wayne Knight continues to do it all for the Dukes.
Getting him in the second level there. He just makes guys miss. The speed to run away from him. JMU gets the turnover, now setting the tone here. Dukes on top.
JMU a 35-27 lead here in Harrisonburg. As we remind you, coming up on ABC, Tennessee at Alabama. You do not want to miss this one at Bryant-Denny Stadium. ABC in the all-new ESPN app. The Vols have not won in Tuscaloosa since 2003. Just the SEC on ABC triple header today was ridiculous. You got Vanderbilt upsetting LSU, a top 10 matchup in Athens, where College Game Day was today between Ole Miss and Georgia, and then your nightcap in Tuscaloosa between Tennessee and Alabama. And we've got a fun one here in the Sun Belt. The shootout in the first half. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. Back and forth with 4 touchdowns apiece. And now we've had the first time all game where a team has scored back-to-back. Colton Joseph throws the interception to start the third quarter. JMU cashes in to take an 8-point lead.
Yeah, and that's really the first mistake that Colton Joseph has made all day. I don't know, maybe got a little too confident, kind of put a ball that hung up in the air around 2 purple jerseys. He's got to settle in now, lead this offense down the field.
We just showed you ODU tied for the most turnovers in all of college football. They were clean in the first half, but an interception to start the second half, and that's when a game can start to slip away from you. A team that's prone to turn it over, you get an interception, and JMU's able to capitalize.
And this is where JMU's defense has really come up big lately, just stopping the first down play. Here it is, 2nd and 9, not ideal.
ODU keeps it on the ground, and once again, JMU reads it really well. Defended well by the Dukes. Cannon Weathersby, the linebacker, got there first.
Yeah, Jacob Thomas came flying down from that safety position. I think he is possibly the next level player. And then Weathersby finished him off.
Quick snap here for ODU. Joseph throwing, dangerous pass, and it's knocked away. Tried to squeeze it into Trey Brown, Justin Eaglin, who had the interception on the previous possession. Great coverage there for JMU. And after the ODU offense looked unstoppable, they've gone 3 and out, interception, and 3 and out again on the last 3 drives.
Yeah, this is the first time, Jay, all day today that they've just looked a little out of sorts and, you know, maybe a little hesitation on some of the decisions, some poor decisions.
Ian Brandt line drive punt. Wayne Knight lets it bounce. And it takes an ODU roll inside the 25-yard line. JMU's defense definitely responded after you give up 3 straight touchdown drives. You force a 3 and out, an interception, and go 3 and out. Now you've given your offense an opportunity to make it a 2-score game on this possession.
Yeah, and you give Chesney and his defense a lot of credit. This is a unique scheme, as we've described, that ODU runs, how they stretch everything perimeter-wise and horizontally with the field, put your guys in a lot of one-on-one situations, but it looks like they've figured some things out, made some adjustments, and are really playing well now. And I think if you're James Madison and Chesney, you're telling your team, look, if we can go on another drive here, this is going to go a long way to putting down ODU.
Tough to tackle Wayne Knight on the left hip of Barnett. He scored the last touchdown for JMU. Give it to him here, and he is blown up in the backfield.
Davon Isles, I mean, it's like a hawk back there on that back end. Did something that's not very easy to do, is come up and tackle Wayne Knight in space. That was an incredible play by Isles.
Sophomore safety drops Knight for a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 upcoming.
That's the key to this defense. It's Isles, it's Carter, it's Easterly. 3 safeties play prominent roles in this 3-3-5 defense.
Barnett looking to throw on 2nd and 12. Fires it. It's caught by Wayne Knight. And they rule it incomplete. Zion Frank shot in to pry that ball free from Knight. And the officials ruled that It was not an official catch. He didn't complete it. I don't know, Rocky. I feel like he makes a football move there.
I agree. I mean, it looks like
that ball.
It's like he catches it and gets 2 feet down, makes a.
Now, Knight does clearly recover it, so it's not like it would have been ODU football, but he would have lost a significant amount of yards, and it should be 3rd and close to 20 instead of 3rd and 12. Barnett steps up, throws right on the money. First down, JMU. Jaylon Sanchez, his first grab of the game, moves the chains.
In ODU's defense, they were playing Barnett, maybe attempting to run. They put Noah Talley. You see him right there almost playing like a spy, but he hangs back in there and does a good job finding an open receiver.
And that's why not calling a fumble on that second down play is huge.
That's huge.
Because JMU picks up the 3rd and 12. Barnett in trouble. Down he goes. The ODU pressure got to Barnett. First sack of the afternoon. It's a loss of 7. Zeth Nawatala, the former JMU Duke, wrestles down Barnett.
Yeah, finally getting a negative yardage play by your defense. Brings some heat. And Nawatala, great job. Career high 12 tackles last week. Getting some pressure.
He thought he was done with football after his time at JMU, had some eligibility left, and decided to return home 4 miles from where his family is from. Barnett takes off, safely out of bounds to get back to the original line of scrimmage to set up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, good job by Barnett there, not forcing anything. You know, he's reading it, knows, hey, I got capable legs. And live to fight another day, pick up a few yards, and now at least make it a 3rd and 10.
If you're ODU defensively, you just gave up a 3rd and 12. How do you adjust here to get them off the field?
I think you got to find a way to get some pressure on Alonzo Barnett here. Try to get him off his spot. He's been so good all game.
ODU only sends 4. Well blocked, but Barnett put it too high for Wisłowski. And JMU forced to punt. That is a big stand by the Old Dominion defense to keep this a 1-score game.
Yeah, and it was, you know, they only brought 4, but brought a little bit of pressure. He had a little more time, though, and he hung in there to deliver a better ball.
How about this? The backup quarterback, Quinn Hennicle, is out here to field the punt, and he muffs it. And JMU has it. Old Dominion, who muffed 2 punts last week at Marshall, decided to go with the backup quarterback, Quinn Hennicle, and he muffs it.
And that's why it's a tough decision to go with your backup quarterback as your punt returner. Yeah, I understand Hennicle is probably the top 5 fastest guy on your team. You want to get a playmaker of the ball and get him some opportunities, but he's just not a guy that gets those reps catching punts day after day after day. And it really comes back to haunt ODU there.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Ronnie told us Hennicle's a top 5 athlete on his team, and that's why they made the move. But to your point, Rocky, this is the first time he's done this all season. It's not like he's been in the rotation.
No, never. It's like, hey, we're going to put you back there because you're an athlete. You can create a spark for us. But for a team, Jay, that their biggest problem all year has been turnovers, that gives them another one here.
But Jacoby Campbell fell on that football after Hennicle let it go right through his hands. And this has been a back-and-forth game all afternoon. Heavyweight fight. And JMU with an opportunity to potentially throw an early knockout punch midway through this 3rd quarter and capitalize on the ODU miscue.
Yeah, because, you know, JMU gets the interception to open half. They go on a long 8-play scoring drive. But then ODU's defense forces a punt, but now they get the ball back in great field position.
Hand off to Fuller. No, Barnett kept it. He pulled that ball late. And that'll set up a 3rd and manageable.
You think it's hard for those guys on the field. It's hard for us in the booth sometimes to see if these quarterbacks give or pull that thing. That's how good they are at it. It's incredible. You talk about something that takes a lot of reps, just doing that over and over and over. Is the defensive end crashing? Is he pulling it? It's a real art, and both these quarterbacks do a good job at it.
Third and 5. JMU trying to cash in on the fumble off the punt. Barnett, perfectly thrown ball to Landon Ellis. The top target continues to deliver, and it's 1st and goal, JMU.
And this is an instance of Alonzo Barnett saying, you know what, I'm going to look up my guy. I'm going to look up one of my best wide receivers and just put a ball out there for him to flat make a play. And Alonzo Ellis, great job on the route, little corner route.
The officials have blown this play dead ahead of a 1st and goal.
Ruling on the field was a completed catch for a 1st down. Previous plays under further review.
Well, that means replay saw something because they buzzed down to the field.
And they're looking, does he complete the process of the catch? Does he get 1 foot down? These are all the things you're looking at in this situation. I didn't see anything on the initial look. And as we get a look at it here, did he complete the process of the catch through the ground? Looks to me like he did, right?
Well, right at the end, but does the ground cause that, and has he already made a football move?
I feel like he's already got a foot down and made a football move. He's turning on the field.
Is upheld. 1st down.
Does he secure that ball, or is the ball moving and they say,
yeah,
call is upheld?
Yeah, it looked like, Jay, it was the 2nd act. He catches the ball, makes a football move. The 2nd act, the ball gets jostled loose there, so
that sets up 1st and goal here for JMU, trying to capitalize on another ODU turnover. The turnovers that have killed this football team all season. They lead all of college football in turnovers. And they throw an interception on the opening drive of this 3rd quarter. That results in a touchdown, and now a muffed punt that JMU's trying to cash in on as well. Barnett loses his footing and goes down. Big time play by the ODU defense. Jaleel Culbreth tripped up Barnett for a loss of 4.
I mean, just got an absolute shoestring on Barnett. What a great play by Culbreth. I mean, this is a great athletic play. Just clips the back heel. Or else Barnett at least gets well inside that 5-yard line.
Fuller motions to the left hip of Barnett. 2nd and goal. Barnett, quarterback keeper, has the hole, takes it in. Touchdown, JMU. It's Alonzo Barnett's 2nd rushing touchdown today to go along with 2 through the air. And JMU has taken a 2-score lead for the 1st time this afternoon.
And you can see Ricky Ryan there is saying, man, we played such a great, clean, explosive 1st half, but the thing that's been their undoing all year, the turnovers, 2 early in this 2nd half have come back to bite them.
Well, and that's the thing, as the officials have huddled to make a call here.
Result of the play is a touchdown. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
So
3-5-7.
issue gets resolved. That's the thing for ODU. It's one thing to give up the turnover.
Thank you.
But last week, you have 5 turnovers. It results in 31 points for Marshall. Today, 2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah. Well, and conversely, last week against Louisiana, JMU had 3 turnovers, but they give up no points off of it. So that's the thing is, I mean, 17 turnovers is just, I don't care how explosive your offense is, how good your quarterback is, you just absolutely cannot overcome that. I mean, if you lose the turnover margin by 1, your chance of winning that game goes down to 28%. I mean, just by 1, let alone here we are at 2.
And on the season, ODU is now down 6 in the turnover margin. This is the latest. The backup quarterback, Quinn Hanikel, comes in to field his first punt of the season. A miscue, and Alonzo Barnett cashes in. JMU up 42-27. Let's take a look at our Fansville College Football Update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Sunbelt Saturday scoreboard. A lot of games going on, and we aren't the only Sunbelt shootout. How about Coastal and App State, each putting up more than 31?
Yeah, it's been a wild year in the Sunbelt, as it always is. In App State, they've won 2 straight. Troy, I think, is one of the more surprising teams in the Sunbelt. I mean, you know, they finally get their quarterback, Tucker Kilcrease. Last week, 5 touchdown passes that been winning games in overtime, coming back by big-time fourth-quarter deficits. Trojans playing well.
Well, speaking with both head coaches this week, they said the Sun Belt is the ultimate week-to-week league. You never know what's going to fly up on that scoreboard. Right now, James Madison, they've got all the momentum, back-to-back touchdowns in a 42-27 lead. Well, James Madison, a 42-27 lead, and for ODU, their offense looked so explosive, unstoppable. First 4 drives, they scored 3 touchdowns, get 277 yards. The last 3 drives, 2 3-and-outs and an interception.
Yeah, it's been the turnovers been killing them.
Credit JMU defensively making some adjustments. Joseph looking for another explosive. He had a wide open Trey Brown with Brown's speed. That would have been a touchdown, and instead it's a drop in the secondary.
And that would have been the injection of energy that this team would have needed. That would have put them right back in this thing. And you're right. I mean, he comes from one hash to the other. He's streaking down the field. He would have went all the way.
Yeah, that is busted coverage that ODU could not cash in on. Trey Brown, who's been excellent in this game. That ball right in his hands. And
I think he was too open. He was thinking 6 points here before he secured the catch.
A third quarter that's continuing to get away from ODU. Joseph fighting for yards, couldn't turn the corner. And I think you credit James Madison defensively. The Dukes clearly made some adjustments here in the second half. There's their defensive coordinator, Colin Hitchler.
Yeah, they clearly have. As I mentioned, this is a unique scheme ODU runs. It takes a little time to get used to it. They've really settled in, especially here this second half. Been great on first down, and it's leading to this, 3rd and longs. Showing bringing 5 here.
Third and 9. Joseph swallowed up and sacked. The Dukes defense delivers again. Xavier Holmes, a 5th-year senior, a loss of 11. Flag down over on the JMU sideline.
Result of the play is loss for yardage. It's 4th down. Sideline warning, James Madison.
Just a sideline warning after they got a little crazy after the 3rd down sack.
And this is just a defense that just lives on causing havoc. That's their 19th sack of the season. Coming into this game, they have 38 tackles for loss. They just thrive. It's like blood in the water here. You can see Colin Hitchler, the defensive coordinator. He loves it. And boy, we enjoyed talking with him yesterday and his journey.
Might have been Hitchler who got the sideline warning there going into the official. You're right, Rocky. We did enjoy talking with Hitchler, one of the great defensive minds at all of college football. He was at Cincinnati with Luke Fickell and Marcus Freeman constructing that dominant Bearcats defense. He spent last season at Alabama as a co-defensive coordinator.
He's also an excitable coach, bumps into the...
Well, this is the first year he's down on the sideline. Head coach Bob Chesney said he's used to being in the box, but they want him down on the sideline as a first-year defensive coordinator to streamline the communication. And he
keeps doing that. They're going to put him up in the booth. I hope JMU fans understand how big of a get this was.
Yes.
To get Colin Hitchler to come in here to JMU and be the defensive coordinator. This guy is the real deal.
And it goes back to a relationship that started with head coach Bob Chesney in 2010 at Salve Regina. That was Hitchler's first job in college football. They're reunited 15 years later. The paths took them very different ways, and they always stayed in contact. Chesney said he was one of the 3 or 4 guys he would call every offseason and continue to see, hey, what am I missing on defense? Because he trusted him as an elite defensive mind. And this defense is really taking control of this game. It was 28-27 at halftime. They get the interception, a couple of 3-and-outs, and it allows the JMU offense to continue to put points on the board.
And ODU offensively, Colton Joseph all game have been doing such a good job in reading, right? Just like we said, reading about when to give it and when to pull it. And he thought he might have some advantages there, but JMU has really countered, and when he goes and hands that ball, it's just suffocating that run defense.
Barnett nearing 300 yards passing. He's up over 100 yards rushing. JMU in the driver's seat. They have taken control of what was a back-and-forth game. And here goes Wayne Knight. He turns the corner, trying to power his way in. He's going to fall a yard short of a touchdown. But Wayne Knight, a gain of 34.
And sweet plays outside, those don't work at college football, right? That way in high school, but it just shows you the kind of speed that he has. Just hand the ball and run around the end. It's just an incredible burst that Wayne Knight has. Yeah, he put his shoulder down too, and put every ounce of that 190-pound frame into Jerome Carter.
You got to let him try and finish this off, right?
Feed him. Got to feed him here.
At 5'7", 190, Knight gets the carry. It's swallowed up for a loss of 2 or 3. Chris Trinidad, great individual effort there to make the stop for ODU. And if you're ODU, you know this is the game.
This is it. You got to form a stand here. You're going to go up 3 scores, and it's just going to be too hard to come back with essentially just one more quarter remaining in this game. I mean, you got to get penetration. You got to try to find a way to pry that ball loose. Ricky Ronnie knows it. He's talking to the offensive coordinator. That's Kevin Decker right there next to him, trying to formulate a plan to get back in this game.
Their defense desperate for a stop. Barnett up the middle. The offensive line continues to deliver. Alonzo Barnett, another touchdown. 2 through the air for Barnett, 3 with his feet. 5 touchdowns total, and Alonzo Barnett has taken over.
Quarterback run game in this offensive line, Jay, is what's taken over. I mean, they are putting bodies on bodies, pushing them out of the way, and there's nothing fancy about that play. It's just Alonzo Barnett right through the B gap.
For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal, extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you, Allstate. Well, ODU led this game 27-21. And since then, James Madison, 4 straight touchdowns, 28 unanswered.
And JMU's offense just hasn't slowed down the way ODU's has. This is the run that kind of sprung everything open here. Wayne Knight running around the end. They try to give the Knight a play later, but then one later, Alonzo Barnett just takes it in for the score here. 3rd rushing touchdown on the ground for him. And he's just been absolutely phenomenal. I think a career game for Alonzo Barnett, a guy we talked about earlier. Was benched back in 2023. Had the ACL injury late last season. And then he comes in, Matthew Sluka, those little quarterback battle. He's still recovering from the knee, but he's just kept battling, and he's played certainly his best game of the year so far.
A career day for Barnett. 5 touchdowns, 3 rushing, 2 passing. 28 unanswered for JMU. They are dominating this 3rd quarter. ODU, they have -7 yards in this 3rd quarter.
-7 yards, 2 turnovers. You know, now the good news for ODU is this is a quick strike offense, which we have talked about. See if they can get something on the board quickly here.
They go to the ground. James wrapped up after a gain of 7.
Probably might go back to that over route to Trey Brown that he dropped earlier. See if he can find that thing open again.
Keep it on the ground. This time the Dukes all over it. Trent Hendrick, the senior captain, on the stop. Well, this game was 28-27 at halftime, but JMU a 21-0 3rd quarter, and they have separated in front of a sold-out crowd. All Dukes headed to the 4th. Well, to say the third quarter belonged to JMU would be an understatement. The Dukes start the third quarter with an interception, and Rocky, they kept their foot firmly planted on the gas.
They did, Jay. It's one thing to get takeaways. It's another to make sure you capitalize off of them, and that's exactly what James Madison has done. On 2 of the takeaways, they get touchdowns out of them, and then they had another one there for good measure. Alonzo Barnett, 5 touchdowns he's been responsible for here today.
This was a back-and-forth game the entire first half. JMU led at halftime 28-27. And at the start of the fourth quarter, JMU now leads 49-27, a 21-0 third quarter for the Dukes.
I mean, look at that disparity right there. 192 just in that first quarter, just taking the top off. And credit, as we have JMU, their defense just finding answers, making some adjustments.
That's the left guard, Skylar Grant, limping off. And the adjustments and also the turnovers. I mean we've said it throughout. Old Dominion leads all of FBS with turnovers, and they have proven costly again. And you know, the punt returning is really wild. They had 2 muffed punts last week against Marshall, now another today.
And they do it by bringing the backup quarterback, Quinn Heinickel, in, which, again, I know he's an athlete, but he's not catching punts every single day for practices and days and years.
Colton Joseph is intercepted. Justin Eaglin again. Eaglin's second interception of the day, and it is all JMU.
Bob Chesney told us yesterday, Jay, that Justin Eaglin is playing his best football of his career right now. And you can see Colton Joseph just furious with himself. And Eaglin, look, he just sat on this thing. As soon as the wide receiver dropped his hips, he dropped his, and then just the explosion on the football. And when you run a route like that, a comeback route, you got to get the defensive player, you got to get the cornerback to flip his hips, you got to threaten him vertically up the field. Eaglin was not threatened at all, so he was able to sit on that thing and pounce on it for the interception. I mean, what an awful stat to have the most turnovers in FBS. Just can't have it.
After an entirely clean first half.
And I feel like the tone was set. Remember, second play of the first half, you know, throw up a kind of a deep ball and kind of a 50-50 situation. I think just been a little bit more careful right now, and now the floodgates have just been opened.
Well, the other thing is it compounds because you turn the ball over, and then your defense just can't get a stop. JMU is driving the ball with ease.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to just lean on that offensive line and just, look, they're going to chew up some clock, continue to keep Colton Joseph on the sideline.
This is the third straight drive where Bob Chesney's team has started in ODU territory. The last thing you want to do is give Alonzo Barnett and this offense a short field. They will make you pay, as they have done time and time again this afternoon. You know, in a game that we told you the entire first half, this game more than likely is going to decide who represents the Sun Belt East. You look at that, with a win, 76% for JMU. With a loss, ODU falls to just 2%, according to ESPN analytics.
Yeah, I mean, that's the critical one right there, is with a loss, more or less puts you out of this thing, according to the stats.
JMU well on their way to a 4-0 start in Sun Belt play. Barnett breaking tackles again. Alonzo Barnett, a man on a mission, finally wrestled out of bounds at the 10-yard line after a gain of 30.
Alonzo Barnett won Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week, and I haven't seen everybody play in the Sun Belt here today, but it'd be hard to find someone that's played better than Barnett. I mean, the throws he's made, the accuracy, and then here in the second half especially, Jay, it's been the run game. And you could tell early on this season he's still recovering from the ACL. Maybe some of that explosion wasn't there, but I think in particular the last 2 weeks he's looked like that guy he did before the injury. And the run game has just made this Dukes offense absolutely a powerhouse.
I think he might look even better.
Yeah.
Playing the best football of his career right now. A career day and looking for more. A first and goal. Handed off to Fuller. I thought you were going to say Sun Belt Player of the Year, not just the week.
Oh, we'll go week to week, but a performance like this puts you in that conversation as well. I mean, clearly to the top. I mean, this looked like most conferences defined by great quarterback play, but there's a lot of them here in this conference. He's at the top.
The incredible thing about JMU's performance today is 6 seconds into this game, they're down 7-0. You fumble the opening kickoff, it's returned for a touchdown. Then you let up a 98-yard touchdown. Those are 2 big plays that go against you, and yet you overcome that adversity to grab control of this second half. Barnett in trouble, spins out of it. Gonna try and run this in, dives, and scores! Alonzo Barnett, his 4th rushing touchdown today, and that one by far the most impressive.
Somebody stop him. He has been incredible today. I mean, he's getting stronger, Jay, as the game goes on. First of all, a backside pressure. He spins out of it the opposite way, and you knew as soon as he took about 3 steps into that thing, he said, I'm taking it all the way to the pylon, and he gets inside of it for the touchdown. 4th rushing TD of the day. Wow.
Barnett has such a burst. Those 4 rushing touchdowns to go along with 2 passing touchdowns. JMU has now scored 35 unanswered.
And I think Bob Chesney would like his offense maybe kind of slow it down and score a little bit slower. Alonzo Barnett says, no, that's not happening. The Dukes are up big, 56-27.
The next stop on the Formula One schedule, U.S. Grand Prix, out in Austin, Texas, Circuit of Americas, tomorrow afternoon, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC, and the all-new ESPN app. Pre-race coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern.
Hans Barnett running like a F1 car out there here in this second half.
Yeah, 4 rushing touchdowns. That's the most by a JMU player since 1999. And one thing you don't know about me, Rocky, I really enjoy Formula One. I really do.
You know, we've been together 2 years, and I didn't know that. I knew you liked horse racing, but now you like the F1 too.
Yeah, and I'm a McLaren fan. And so they've already clinched the team title, but only one driver can win the individual title. So it's 2 drivers that are on the same team. Now they got to go against each other. And that's created a lot of controversy. Colton Joseph, spectacular in the first half. Near perfect. What has happened in the second half, Rocky?
I really think that second play of the second half, he throws a ball up in the air. I just didn't like the play, just kind of giving your receiver a 50-50 ball. He gets the interception, and I just think things kind of faded after that throw.
James Madison has scored 35 unanswered points. They trailed this game 27-21. The turnovers have started to pile up, 3 of them against ODU. The Dukes have capitalized.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing. You just got to give credit to this JMU defense for figuring things out. Takes a couple series, but look, you take some big punches by an offense, but you don't give in, you settle down, and they've played great so far. I mean, look at this.
Still swarming to the football. And you know, Rocky, you pointed out something to me in the break. I think this defense is still playing hard, despite the lopsided score, to keep ODU under 300 yards. Remember, they are the only defense in all of college football to hold every opponent under 300 yards this season. They allowed 275 in the first half. In the second half, they've only allowed 9. Joseph floats that well shy of his target. And once again, the JMU defense delivers.
Yeah, another 3 and out, and just an errant throw by Joseph. And it almost just looks like, I mean, quarterback is a position, I mean, you got to have a short memory, like any position, but especially at the quarterback position. You know, and I don't know, he just didn't look like he steps into this throw the way he can. It's off target, and, you know, maybe some of them turnovers, you know, looming in his mind a little bit and affecting his future play.
Well, certainly the confidence has been drained out of him by this Dukes defense. And JMU well in control of this one. 56-27, and their offense back out on the field when we come back. As head coach at James Madison, taking over a special program with a great winning tradition. And look at this. First 4 seasons transitioning from FCS to FBS, and they're doing it better than just about anybody, on their way to now 34-10, and they've done it with multiple head coaches. Of course, Chesney taking over for Curt Cignetti, and you know, winning knows no level, and Bob Chesney embodies that. This is year 16 as a head coach. Salve Regina, then Assumption, Holy Cross, and now James Madison. Every time he's stepped up a level, the winning just continues. An incredible 125-51 record.
It just shows, I mean, that's the mark of a good coach, one that wins at every single level. As we see Matthew Sluka coming into the game here.
He was a part of a lot of those wins for Chesney at Holy Cross. Sluka then went to UNLV and now has found his former head coach here at JMU. It was back and forth between Sluka and Barnett much of the offseason. Barnett's clearly established himself as the quarterback, but Sluka still offers a very reliable backup quarterback, and they still have a package for him.
They do, and I think we might have seen that package here today, but Alonzo Barnett was just incredible, and you give Bob Chesney credit for saying, hey, plans have changed here. We got to stick with Alonzo Barnett because he is hotter than hot right now. I agree with this decision. Get him out of the game. Don't need anything happening to him, and now allow Matthew Sluka to get some reps.
Going back to Chesney for 1 second, there's actually a lot of similarities between him and his predecessor, Curt Cignetti.
Yeah.
I win everywhere I go.
Google me.
Yeah, the iconic Google me. Well, if you Google Bob Chesney, you get the same sort of result, which is, look, if we're playing football, I'm winning the game.
And amazing, yeah, the connection here at JMU. Cignetti here just 2 seasons ago.
And obviously what he has done at Indiana has been nothing short of remarkable, getting rewarded this week with a massive contract extension where he says, I'm going to retire a Hoosier.
I mean, you go into Autzen and beat Oregon. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. I mean, IU right now is a building to be a legitimate Big Ten power.
Now, this is an interesting call. With James Madison up big, they're going to go for this on a 4th and 2 instead of punt it away and play the field position game. Sluka might be trying to just draw ODU off. And now Chesney will take a timeout and likely punt this ball away. JMU well in control.
First
9 minutes of
timeout,
change
James
from
Madison.
improving to 6-1, 4-0 in Sun Belt play. Now, the NBA season tips off on Tuesday night, and our first doubleheader on ESPN is Wednesday night. ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Cavs at Knicks, and then Spurs at Mavs. NBA tip-off starts 6 p.m. Eastern Time with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq. They're debuting on ESPN. So Bob Chesney, after the timeout, does decide to send his punt unit out. Haven't seen much of them today, Rocky, as JMU has put up 56 on ODU. This game was 28-27 at halftime, but this second half has just been dominated by the Dukes. There's a flag down.
Illegal formation, kicking team. More than 4 members in the backfield. Number 7 specifically. 5-yard penalty be added to the edge of the spot.
And if you're wondering how did a 1-point game at halftime turn into this is how. The turnovers really piled up on ODU, a team that leads all of FBS.
Yeah, this was the second play of the second half, and again, I just don't love the call, kind of throwing one up for grabs there, although he was pressured, and then this was the real backbreaker. Quinn Heinkel, the backup quarterback, muffs the punt, and then Eaglin with the interception. I mean, just a tale of two halves that couldn't be more different.
275 yards of offense in the first half, only 10 yards of offense in the second half. And Joseph, he's just not in rhythm. No. Colton Joseph, who only had 1 incompletion the entire first half, is just 1 of 7 in the second.
And he was just absolutely feeling it in that first half of the game. Great throws, great touch, but you're right, he's just all out of sync at the moment. And obviously the way this game has kind of got away from him is the culprit there.
Joseph taking another shot deep downfield. Couldn't connect. Trey Brown, who's been the deep threat all game, not on the same page there. At 3rd and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, even that ball there was a little bit wide and out of bounds. He's not able to connect the way he has in the first half.
Sold out crowd that has delivered an awesome atmosphere throughout this Sun Belt shootout. Roaring the defense on for another stop. Joseph in trouble, down he goes! The JMU defense delivers again. Jacob Thomas, one of the best defenders in the Sun Belt, shows why there.
I mean, he is over the ball, and then at the last minute just scoops around, wraps around, and comes up like a missile on Colton Joseph. Jacob Thomas, in a defense filled with a ton of great players, he may be at the top.
Thomas, who walked on in 2023, he was a quarterback in high school, playing at a high level defensively. Let's take a look at our AT&T Keep Us Connected with today's best moments. And that is moments, plural, for Alonzo Barnett, who has been pulled from this game after a spectacular performance.
He's been nothing short of incredible. I mean, a complete game, dominance, his passing, especially early on, the accuracy was incredible. And then the running came later on. We saved the best for last. That's your AT&T best moment coming up right here. I mean, the blindside rush, somehow feels it, backwards spins out, and a race to the pylon. Number 14, have a day, son.
This was a back and forth game the entire first half. 4 touchdowns for each team. Just a missed extra point separated them, 28-27. And Barnett just completely took over this second half. Career high 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, nearly 300 yards through the air, over 150 on the ground.
Yeah, I mean quarterback it's hard. It's a hard position.
Personal foul.
Especially against
Shot
what I
clock.
thought was a good
Offense,
ODU
numbers
defense.
8 and 17. 15-yard
just
penalty
came
from
out
the end of the
before.
run. Repeat first down.
So a chop block against James Madison will back the Dukes up. Barnett and his head coach Bob Chesney, they're still talking about something with this game well in hand. If you only tuned into this second half, Rocky, you wouldn't believe how well this Old Dominion offense looked in the first half. They just went punch for punch, trading blows, 4 touchdowns apiece. In the second half, it has been one-way traffic for JMU. Now the backup quarterback, Sluka, handing it off here. Now the one thing Bob Chesney told us about his backup, Sluka, was want to try and get him to throw the ball when he comes in on his packages. Well, you're not going to throw the ball up 56-27.
Yeah, and I still think, Jay, going forward here, there'll be some packages for Matthew Sluka. I mean, there was going to be some packages for this game today. It was just Alonzo Barnett, the way he was performing, and I give him credit. Like, you know, let's throw that plan out and keep with the guy who's hot as fire right now. But yeah, moving forward, they like this dynamic of being able to bring in Sluka for a changeup.
Sluka takes off. There's the speed. Matthew Sluka is showing why he is a threat to run the football and why they've still got that package for him. Gain of 39. He's got some serious speed.
And, you know, Sluka and Bob Chesney obviously go back a long time here, back to Holy Cross, and Sluka was his guy. When he comes here to James Madison, and, you know, Alonzo Barnett winds up winning that spot, but Sluka's still a capable weapon out there.
JMU now over 600 yards of total offense after that Matthew Sluka run. 605 total. And what was an extremely even back and forth game just became totally lopsided in this second half. The JMU defense, great adjustments to force some turnovers and take control. And the JMU offense, they've been consistent.
They have, but in all my years of playing football, I found that to be true. Turnovers just have a way of just flipping the script on a game. You know, you're playing good, and it's just such a gut punch for your offense to get that takeaway, and then the defense looks like, oh, God, here we go. We're back out on the field. It's just a chain reaction when those things happen.
JMU keeps it on the ground. That's Petaway, the transfer from North Carolina. Gain of 7. JMU content to just let this clock tick down after as impressive a second half performance as you will find on this college football Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in every way, JMU has put themselves at the top of this Sun Belt race. You know, I mean, they're putting the whole league on order. Yeah.
Is the winner of this game was going to take over the driver's seat in the Sun Belt East and likely play for a Sun Belt championship. And obviously Bob Chesney would tell you got to keep winning, right? One win doesn't do it. But Old Dominion and James Madison, when you looked at the East, it felt like they were the two at the top of it.
Yeah, I mean, both teams were playing an extraordinarily high level. You know, ODU, they get that loss last week against Marshall, as we talked about, with the 5 turnovers, and kind of set them in a tailspin. They came out here early on fire, but after that, in the second half, it just got extinguished. Ricky Ronnie is sitting there saying, man, we were in this thing. We were playing great football. I mean, you start the game off with JMU muffing a kickoff and you get the touchdown with 6 seconds in the game. You're like, wow, here we go. And you know, I just think JMU has just shown that they're the more dominant team. They've just worn them down here in the second half.
Sluka in trouble. Just bounces that ball. Finally, a whistle comes in.
The field's runner was down.
They're going to rule that Sluka was down before he released that football. So a huge loss of 11.
Yeah, he's trying to keep this thing alive to throw, but
that's the right call.
That's the right call. Great job by the officials there.
Only good news for JMU is the clock continues to run, which is really what you're working towards here.
Just letting that thing tick down.
Third and goal. They're going to let Sluka take a shot here on a third and goal.
Oh my God.
Put it right on the money. A jump ball and a touchdown. Smoke Collins. I think he pinned this ball on the back of Alessandro. Everything going JMU's way.
Everybody having fun for JMU right now. I mean, Smoke Collins gets a touchdown catch. Matthew Sluka throws one.
He had not thrown a pass since week 2 against Louisville, and he puts it right on Smoke Collins.
Look at this catch, though. Pins it against the backside of Alessandro, and then pulls it back in over his head. Wow. That's great coverage by Alessandro. Just a greater catch by Smoke Collins.
42 unanswered points for JMU. This is a statement performance by Bob Chesney's team.
And it's good to get your other guys involved here. Smoke Collins just 2 catches on the year and comes back with a big one. I mean, look at this. Does that go to Sports Center top?
It should be in the consideration. Absolutely.
Should be in the conversation.
Check out that first half.
Put it up there.
First half to second half. 259 second half yards to 1. That is remarkable.
I mean, that is something your defense, it just comes out of this game with extreme confidence in. I mean, right in the shit. That's so much a part of this. You got to keep playing, got to keep making adjustments, and they have.
And think about it from this perspective. James Madison starts this game 6 seconds in. The opening kickoff, they fumble. ODU takes it for a touchdown.
And in a lot of teams, Jay, that'll just put your head all the way out of it and just set you into a spiral. But I credit to Bob Chesney, these coaches, these players of saying, look, okay, we still got a lot of football here, and they just concentrated on the next play and put it all together.
42 unanswered points. The ability to respond to adversity. They let up a 98-yard touchdown to Colton Joseph and Trey Brown, and every single time ODU threw a punch, JMU punched right back, and in the second half they just knocked them out.
Just knocked them out.
ODU has gone to the backup quarterback Quinn Hanicle. Now, we have heard his name once before. He went in for a punt return. First time he's done that all season, and resulted in a muffed punt, a fumble.
I feel like that was the play that that kind of broke them, right? Well, once that happened, you give JMU the ball around the 20-yard line there. That just really set the tailspin into effect.
JMU defense continues to deliver. The ball popped out with his head. The knee was down first. Runner down. Mark-I James. That will bring us to the 2-minute timeout.
Tough day for that man right there. I mean, just an incredible first half. And he'll learn from this game. I still think he's one of the top quarterbacks in this Sun Belt Conference.
Well, James Madison,
This is the
2 minutes away
timeout.
from closing out a statement win in the Sun Belt. Team college football playoff will be here before you know it. Rocky Boyman, Jay Alter with you. You know, Bob Chesney and James Madison, if they get some chaos in the American, they could be in the conversation for a college football playoff spot. Remember, the top 5 conference winners, automatic berth. Well, they probably need some help with how well the American has done this season. But they have played themselves into the conversation.
But I know the committee likes, they look at stats, and you put up 63 on a team, it's going to turn some heads. Especially a really talented Old Dominion defense that held Indiana to 27 points in their matchup against the Hoosiers. A 4th and 1 here. I mean, remember this. I mean, ODU had a 13-point loss to IU. Played them well. Wow.
Stuffed on a 4th and short. The JMU defense delivers again. And how about this? JMU is going to hold ODU under 300 yards, which is so impressive considering they allowed 275 yards in the first half, and they stay the only team in FBS to hold every opponent they've played to under 300 yards this season.
Stat of the year, and you can credit that man right there, Colin Hitchler. We've talked about him. What a great get that was.
Now, hold on a second. They just gave ODU the first down. That looked like a loss, let alone a gain.
Wow. Well, hold on. Now that yard, under 300 yards, still up for grabs here.
Well, James Madison has to take a timeout because their offense was on the field.
Ruling on the field, runner achieved the line of game for a first down. Previous plays under further review.
To me, he didn't even get back to the original, to the line of scrimmage.
He's got to get to the 38, right?
Yeah. The first down markers at the 38-yard line.
No way.
I don't even think he got to the 37. No. So this should be a turnover on downs, and everything we just told you about the amazing JMU defense should hold true.
When you watch it, I mean, that's about the 37 and 2-inch line.
I don't know what's taking so long.
I mean, they have to be looking at not just the time and all that.
Well, either way, no matter what ends up being called, although we feel pretty confident this will be a turnover on downs, this will mark 22 straight wins against teams from the state of Virginia for JMU, including 4 straight against ODU. That's an incredible stat.
After review, the runner did not reach the line to gain. It'll be first down for
That is the right call, and JMU can kneel the ball out.
Game clock, please reset the game clock.
Secure this 63 to 27 win, and they take full control of the Sun Belt East at 4-0 in conference play.
I mean, really a statement win. And here's the upcoming schedule. You and I, Jay, will be at that October 28th game at Texas State. Texas State right now in overtime.
Yeah, against
with Marshall.
Those are the next 2 opponents. There's a Chesney family hug. You got the son, Bo, Coach Senior, who has been with Bob Chesney for all 16 years. He's been a head coach. Salve Regina, Assumption, Holy Cross, and now
when we came in yesterday to meet with his staff, we said, where's Senior at? We got to say hello to him.
He's the star of the show. Well, this was a statement performance in the second half. JMU left no doubt. And for ODU, they'll fall to 4-3 back-to-back losses with App State at ULM, Troy at Georgia Southern upcoming.
And App State lost today. As they try to kind of turn this season around after starting the season so well. 2 straight losses.
Just incredible when you give up 275 yards in the first half to keep that under 300 streak.
The odds of that
for the JMU defense.
Incredible.
Yeah, the offense poured on 63. Bob Chesney heads to midfield. A 61-5 record at home. Top 5 in all of college football in the last decade. Incredible consistency here at James Madison.
Bob Chesney, incredible consistency wherever he's been, right? And this was the statement win of the Sun Belt Conference this year. We set this up. This was a defining game in determining the East. And JMU not only wins it, but does it in impressive fashion, putting up 63 points on this defense for ODU.
And they become the first bowl-eligible Sun Belt team this season. Bob Chesney and this program, they've got their sights set higher than just making it to the 6-win bowl eligibility mark, but significant all the same. And Alonzo Barnett, a career day, 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. And James Madison, a dominant statement, 63-27 win.
Yeah, this JMU crowd, a little silenced right 6 seconds into the game. ODU gets a touchdown, but they knew this Dukes team was strong. Offense, defense in the second half, incredible.
For Rocky Boyman, our terrific crew behind the scenes, I'm Jay Alter saying so long. JMU wins big.